Hey guys, welcome to Mini Table Talkers with Lucky and DP.
Micro penis. Anyways, let's get to the show.
We are going to say that this is not a spoiler-free review. You've been warned, just to let you know. Please don't threaten me. Don't come to my house and try to beat the crap out of me for no reason.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Yeah, there's going to be spoilers. Sorry about that.
Sorry, Charlie. So, we are starting off, as the last video, with the stuff that we liked. I gave the episode a 9 out of 10, probably a 9.5 to be completely honest.
It was low-key poggers.
Mainly because Vader's in there clapping everyone. It shows his true potential. And frankly, I know that Rogue One, for me, was very scary. Seeing Vader, toppling over everyone. But seeing him in Fallen Order, fighting against Cal Kestis, scariest I've ever seen, because you try to fight him and you literally cannot win. There's nothing you can do, and it was realistic to this extent here, and especially where Vader, just to get Obi-Wan's attention, he starts killing people. He snaps a dude's son's neck right in front of his family. He drags a woman after snapping her neck across the sand, again, just to get Kenobi's attention. If that's not a good way to get someone's attention, I don't know what is. I don't know, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. I think a 9 to a 9.5 is very valid for this episode. And again, like David stated, it starts with Vader. It really does. The performances that were given in Rogue One and in his video game versus Cal Kestis, they play off of that very strongly with this Darth Vader. In his first appearance, I was really hoping that the Disney Plus effect didn't really come in. I really was hoping that they would give Vader his due, and that's gore that is killing people without hesitation, and it's like DP said, snapping a child's neck is a pretty fast way to start that off.
A teen kid, might I add. No restrictions there.
No restrictions at all. And then obviously I think Moses does a really good job. I love her as an actress. I love a lot of the things that she does. But in episodes 1 and 2, I will say that she kind of drags a little bit. And a lot of it I do think is the writing. Because in episode 3, I think they play into her strong suits, which is the physical acting. And it's also her ability to read and react. You know what I mean?
Say what you will. Her acting, it's not crazy. I like it, but it's not insane or anything. But her body language and the way she reacts and how angry she gets and everything, especially towards the end of the episode,
it stands
respectful. Out. It stands out. It
stands out. And I'm gonna say it. I think the child actress that they had play Princess Leia is fantastic. I know a lot of people have been saying that she's annoying and stuff, and in the second one I understand where you're coming from in the second episode, but they give her a lot in this episode. There is a scene in which Obi-Wan and Princess Leia are on the back of a farmer's truck basically, and they're having a conversation, and I'm not going to lie, they give her a lot to do and read and react, and as a child actress in Hollywood, it's kind of frowned upon to give them a lot, you know what I mean, because again, they're children, so you want to keep it pretty simplistic with them, but she does the damn thing. I'm not going to lie. She reads, she reacts, her emotion, and the way that McGregor plays off of her emotion and the way those two are, it's fantastic in episode 3.
I was skeptical at first when they said oh, this is Leia, and then I was like, oh well, okay, let's see how she portrays her and sees. And yeah, aside from obviously episode 2, her being frustratingly irritating, where I wanted to actually throw her off the building myself, she was still the stubborn princess that we all come to love, and she just did a really good job. She captured it, and I see Princess Leia in her.
Honestly. Absolutely, she captures, and I think my favorite part about her is the way that she captures Princess Leia's just blindly hopeful, you know what I mean, attitude and everything that she says, and you believe this child actress. I forget her name.
Actually,
I'll have to look it up, but she is truly amazing in episode 3, and I think that she does such a good job. And those are massive boots to fill, right? Like, that's Princess Leia. That is a massive character within the Star Wars universe. And, I mean, this little girl, she has done so far a very particularly good job in being able to hold her own with McGregor and with Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader. She hasn't let them overshadow her, which is crazy for a child actress.
Now, let's talk about the whole main, speciality of this whole episode. Vader. Hayden Christensen's first time since the third movie being Vader again. Oh my gosh, his body language was amazing, and they used the same voice actor. I keep forgetting his name.
Earl.
Yes,
James Earl. 91 years old.
91 years old, and he's still going. Oh my gosh. And Hayden Christensen's body language was just insane. It's like he has skill, but he swings that lightsaber like he just wants to hack everyone out of the way, like a whole lumberjack. Like, this dude.
And don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. His fight scene with Obi-Wan is not really a fight scene. It's more
a clapping.
It's more Darth Vader toying with his prey.
He was teasing
and Obi-Wan fighting to survive. You know what I mean?
The scariest thing was when he literally grabbed him and he was going to make him suffer the exact same way that he suffered before becoming Vader. And that was just deep to me.
I saw a meme on Twitter, actually, that was basically, how long do you think Vader was practicing that in the mirror about how to get his revenge on Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I thought it was funny, but I also thought that was very unique in the way that they were able to film it in a way, too, that was very, you could put them up frame by frame from episode 3 to the last betrayal in 2007, and you could almost go toe-to-toe with the way Hayden Christensen was in the flames and the way Obi-Wan was in the flames. And I thought they did a very good job of expressing not only what it meant to Vader, but what it meant to Obi-Wan. Again, McGregor has done a fantastic job in this show in his ability to express what Obi-Wan's going through.
Vader, he invited him to the cookout, and he was about to.
He did.
He was about to roast him.
You could tell, right. What Hayden Christensen did so well in episode 3. I'm going to simplify it because there's a lot that I could talk about. But my favorite thing that he did in this episode was his presence. From the moment that he comes onto the screen, right, and you have obviously the breathing, the famous Darth Vader breathing. He owns everything that he does, from his stance to the way that he walks to, like DP was saying, the way he carries himself. It's not just, the voice. It's not just the way he breathes. The scariest thing about Darth Vader is he feels like a slasher villain. He feels like Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers,
Loki.
But a whole lot scarier because it's a dude with a lightsaber
and actual powers too.
Yeah, and actual powers, right? Like, this guy coming at you, he doesn't need to be fast, right? And they express that in the show. He doesn't need to, jump around. He can keep a steady pace and just be terrifying.
God, imagine him as your sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah, I mean, that would be absolute hell. Let's call it what it is.
So, final thoughts on the episode. Again, I loved it. It makes me really excited for the next episode. I cannot wait. I hate that I have to wait pretty much almost an entire week for this, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. But expectations for the next episode. I'm hoping that maybe there's a moment where he's trying to recover from the fight, kind of like another PTSD-inducing moment, just adding to the list of PTSD that he has, and then building up yet again. Maybe introduce, what's his face? One of the Jedi that he mentioned in the episode, Quinlan Voss. If they introduce Quinlan Voss live action, fantastic. That would be a really cool nod, and maybe a Ventress appearance too. I mean,
That would be good.
It would be nice. I don't know if it will happen, but it would be really cool. Oh, imagine if Ventress came in, because Obi-Wan and Ventress have teamed up before during the Clone Wars. Imagine they do like one last team up against Vader to defeat him and then kind of like just escape.
That would be sick.
That would be cool.
My expectations for episode 4, honestly, I believe what they're going to do is they're going to do kind of like a half cut. And what I mean by half cut is I believe that it's going to start off with Obi-Wan and Leia. They're going to get her home safely, probably, is what they're going to kick off the episode with, is, Obi delivering her home. And then I think what you're going to see is probably almost like a training bit from Obi-Wan. I think after that fight, everyone can agree that Obi-Wan got his tail whooped. You know what I mean? And I think he's going to reflect on that and realize that he has to become more connected with the Force. It's been 10 years. He has to get better at his craft. So I think what you're going to see is him dealing with that, and then maybe some flashes over to Vader of how he feels after the escape, basically, of Obi-Wan.
I also heard rumors that Qui-Gon is going to come back as that Force ghost. So
I really hope that is how Obi-Wan realizes.
I have faith in it.
That he needs to get back in it and start training again. I hope that at least Qui-Gon makes an appearance.
I have faith in it.
And talks to Obi-Wan and explains to him that, hey, you need to train again. This is not going to stop until you stop it, essentially.
Yeah, we need Qui-Gon to, slap him around and be like, listen, man.
Absolutely.
You got to get your crap
And it has to happen for the final fight, right? Because the Obi-Wan that you see in episode 3 is not going to stand a chance.
That's a broken
If
Obi-Wan.
they just try to... If Obi-Wan Kenobi tries to basically just say, episode 6 occurs and the final fight happens, and they're just like, oh, yeah, Obi-Wan can fight now, that will be pretty sad. Because I think you need that, inner monologue with Obi-Wan, and you need that monologue, hopefully, with Qui-Gon, to express that he needs to kind of get back on his horse a little bit and start retraining. And I'd love to see some scenes of him just, even with the saber, in his cape, because he's like a hermit, just going back and forth and just becoming one with the Force again, to where he can have that big battle in episode 6 in all of its glory, because it's going to happen. It's just a matter of how he comes off in that fight.
And there's some things, there's a lot of possibilities right now. I remember that I think, not Life magazine, one of the Empire magazine or something like that, where they had a picture of all the people. I know Mandalorian, I know for a fact he most likely will not show up. He's
got his own season coming. I can't wait for that.
Yes. But there is a possibility, I really, really hope that Ahsoka appears. It would make sense, and it would be really nice to see some flashbacks recreated live action style with Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka together. That, even if it's just for a few seconds, that would be enough for me. I'd be very happy with that, and it would actually kind of tie in things. Because we haven't seen Obi-Wan and Anakin and Ahsoka together live action before, only in the Clone Wars, and that's it. But now that we have a live action Ahsoka, put Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka together just for a few seconds to have a flashback memory, that would be amazing. I would love that personally, but that's my expectation, really. Either they'll maybe put Ahsoka, maybe put Ventress and Quinlan Voss, because Quinlan Voss was best friends with Obi-Wan and Ventress. Actually, I think, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but they dated Ventress and Quinlan Voss, because Quinlan Voss is just all over the place. And just hopefully they can do something with that.
Absolutely. And again, we have to wait until next week for the new episode, unfortunately. But, I'm going to try to get this guy on The Boys Season 3. So hopefully we have a video about that coming up. I know that that's a big one for a lot of you guys. So, excited. I'm excited for the content coming out. You have the last season of the Peaky Blinders comes out. The Boys Season 3, and then we have the last 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi to go over, and then it's on to The Mandalorian. So a lot of content coming your guys' way.
And we'll also do movies as well.
And we'll also do movies as well. Any big releases, Thor: Love and Thunder comes out, we'll definitely be there for that one. And yeah, I mean, just be ready for it, guys. Definitely subscribe, like, and we'll see you guys soon. So remember to de-stress, progress, and let God handle the rest. Bye for now, guys. Have a good one.
Wait! There's more!
So, since we also didn't get to put a video out last week for the other episodes, we decided to also add part 4 and part 5 to our review here. And honestly, part 4 was okay. It was fun to watch. Obi-Wan finally in action.
Slow at times.
Slow at times. But 5, I absolutely loved it. The minute I saw Anakin back, I geeked. I freaked. I actually got goosebumps, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, 4 was good just to see Obi-Wan back in action. You start seeing him take it a little bit more seriously. But I will say 5, getting to see Anakin train with Obi-Wan in between the flashbacks and the current day, that probably was one of the coolest episodes in the entire season. So, kudos to that. You got to see a glimpse of Vader's power. You got to see, it had a little bit of everything. It had a little bit of action. It had a little bit of drama. It had a little bit of flashbacks. It really culminated everything together.
Showing a fraction of his power by stopping the whole ship, which brings back to Force Unleashed vibes, which I love, and I hope that we see more, because I don't think but Starkiller, Vader's apprentice, unfortunately not canon, not yet. I'm hoping that eventually Dave Filoni will have it happen. He was able to stop an entire Star Destroyer, cruise ship, the big one that Vader was on. He was able to stop one with his bare hands, which was crazy. It shows how powerful he is and how Vader trained him to be as powerful as he was. I really hope that the next episode that they show Quinlan Voss, at least. They mentioned him, so that at least they could do is show him. I don't even remember what happened to Ventress. I don't know if she's alive or dead. Either way, something cool, reminiscing to the Clone Wars could be really cool. And I just can't wait for episode 6. And we'll definitely be making a review on episode 6 when that comes out as soon as possible. That way we can get that out.
Absolutely. And, my final thoughts on it is, during the opening to the show, I remember that McGregor and Christensen, they were both talking about how the, combat is going to be like the older movies and stuff like that. And I think that's the one thing that you really see in episode 5, and that was one of my favorite parts too, is the lightsaber combat feels very much so like old Anakin and like old Obi-Wan, and getting to see that again and getting to feel the fluidity of it was really neat, especially with some of the newer movies kind of being lunkier when it comes to lightsaber action.
With the sequels, swinging them like bats rather than the elegancy and the
smoothness. People forget swinging it like a bat is something that Anakin began. You know what I mean? And it kind of felt like they almost copy paste Kylo Ren's way of fighting,
but dumbed it down.
It dumbed it down. And we're just we're going to make a cheap version of Anakin, essentially, in the way that he fights. So it was really cool to see, the fluidity of, old Anakin again. And getting to see, Obi-Wan in his heyday and them train probably was one of the coolest parts of this entire season. So I think episode 5 is a must watch. And again, we're going to have episode 6 coming out on deck. I apologize. We've been busy with some stuff that we couldn't get this out sooner. So, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the payoff for season 1 of Obi-Wan.
Part 6 coming soon. Can't wait. I'm hyped.
that wraps up our series for Obi-Wan for season 1.
After this episode, after episode 6 comes out, this will wrap up for Obi-Wan. Let us know what else you would want to have us review. In the meantime, we'll look for some other shows that we feel deserve to have a review about.